Yo, welcome back to another episode of Wake Up with Wops. It's been a while since my last video. I've been out on vacation. You guys know it's summertime. The World Cup is on. Been a little busy, but we're going back at it. Bitcoin hit a 1 year low today, 59,000 flat. If we go on the weekly, it's at a very crucial spot, right at the last all-time highs around 2021. And then look at that 200-week moving average, struggling there. Even if it dips a little bit below, we would want a remount of that moving average as soon as possible. If not, we could be going lower to the 45,000 area. I'm not sure. I hope we don't. Hopefully, we recover here. Ethereum is still in the massive range it's been since 2021, just in this very long range from 4,000 all the way down to like 1,300, 1,600, back to 4,000. We're just ranging here. If you put the lines, just a big box of range. Hopefully we find the bottom soon and catch up. Might be a good time to start accumulating, but if I were going to accumulate, I'd rather buy Bitcoin than Ethereum. Now let's get into the stock market and some sectors, and then at the end we will do a position updates of all my positions. SPY at the 50-day average, up a little bit in Postmarket, but it was down today. QQQ up 1% in the Postmarket. Looks like the buyers are stepping in, investors are stepping in. It was a down day today, almost reached the 50-day average, but looks like we might be bouncing here. We actually entered into a stock today. We're going to go over that at the end of the video. IWM looks better than the SPY and QQQ, showing a little bit of better relative strength. Same with RSP. This is the equal-weighted SPY, so all the stocks in the SPY are not equally weighted. This makes it equally weighted. You're going to see here, respecting the 9 EMA, good relative strength compared to the SPY that is dipping to the 50-day average. So for a while now, I've been talking about market rotation on YouTube and on X. XRT up 2%, showing good relative strength. Watch a break of this level. Retail stocks have been doing really well, like Target is one of them, breaking out of this level here. Another sector that's showing relative strength is the home building ITB. We've been talking about a potential bottom in this and 6% move. In my last video, I talked about maybe entering into nail, and I made that a trade idea for you guys. Up 18% today, looking really good. So we got home building stocks on watch. Home Depot is a stock that is retail, like a retail store, and it also does home improvement. So it's kind of like ITB and XRT. And I talked about this trade idea on X. Today, up 5%. Potential bottom for Home Depot. And if you are late to Home Depot, you also have Lowe's. That looks like it's lagging a little bit, but if home building and retail continue going up, this might be a potential bottom for Lowe's. The next strong sector is jets. This is airlines. Look at this breaking out of beauty. If you go to DAL, which is Delta Airlines, breaking out just like the ETF. And same with United Airlines, UAL, breaking out, looking like a beauty. Keep these on watch on any types of pullbacks. It does look very extended right now for an entry. And then there's other sectors that are up like 1% or flat today, which showing relative strength compared to the red day in the SPY and the QQQ. XLI, industrials above the 9 EMA, XLV, healthcare, and then lastly, biotech. And we entered into a biotech stock. We're gonna go over that at the end. All right, so we talked about the strong sectors. Now let's go over the red sectors like IGV, software, continue to get oversold. If we pull up the stochastics at a 7, that is signaling oversold. It extended from the upper Bollinger Band to the lower Bollinger Band. Just indicators showing of temporary oversold. Quantum, red day today, down 2%. SMH semiconductors look up 3% in the post market. This is probably due to MU earnings that are today post market. Look at that. Earnings drop for MU. It's up 12%. I'm guessing earnings are good. The investors like the reaction. This is probably why the market is starting to get bought up in the post market. If we go to the Qs, you can see up 1.5%, and that's probably due to MU earnings being up 12%. Let's look at SNDK. This is all happening live right now. SNDK is up 10% in post market. Good sign. Hopefully this continues going up tomorrow when the market opens, and this will be good for the rest of the market, especially tech. Let's go over aerospace and defense, down 1% today, flat in the post market. And then lastly, metals like gold going down, looking bearish. We talked about the top being in gold back here in January, and looks like it is. That was a good short opportunity there. Silver, the same with silver. We talked about that very extended short. Alright guys, to end the video, quick position updates because it's just been a volatile week. CoreWeave at the 200-day average, but up 2% in the post market. Maybe this is because the market's a little bit oversold or because of the MU good earnings reaction. Walmart actually gapping down 1% when it was looking good earlier. This is kind of concerning, but still above the 200-day average. Hopefully that holds. Iron hit the 200-day average and recovered a little bit, now up 3% in the post market. I'm telling you guys, these tech names are starting to get bought up in the post market. Hopefully this continues into the next day. QBTS losing the 200-day average. We don't like to see that, but holding the 50-day average. Hopefully it just consolidates here. We get back to remounting key moving averages. TT, this is our industrial play. Nothing to talk about here. Holding the 90 EMA, it's looking good for a continuation. Resi, this is one I entered while I was on vacation. I didn't really talk about this. It's a earnings gap down reversal. Right now, just consolidating, have the stop loss below the range. VRT, talked about this on X. If you don't follow me, wake up with WAPs. Every time I enter a stock, I'm always posting there. When I get stopped out, I post it, and then when I take profits, I post it. Anyways, it was looking bad earlier today in the close. Little hammer candle, which is good, but now we're back above the 50-day average, up 3% in the post market. We like to see that. Hopefully it continues consolidating and then goes back on track. And then lastly, AMGM. This is that biotech stock, my newest entry I talked about. Typical continuation pattern. Remember guys, biotech is showing good relative strength, breaking out. When we zoom out of this, look at this range it's breaking out in. Might be a little bit extended, some pullback continuation, but I'm liking it. I have a pretty loose stop below the moving averages. Gonna wait for the moving averages to continue curling up, and hopefully we get back to the local high. I'm liking it. Down a little bit in the post market, but I'm not too worried. And that's it. We went over a bunch of sectors, showed you the sectors that are doing good, showed you the sectors that are selling off. MU earnings up 12%. Maybe this is good for the market to end the week strong after this pullback. And then lastly, we went over my positions and then my new trade. Peace.